You've seen the fragments, the warnings, the glimpses of something lurking in the static. You've asked the question, would you survive? And you've demanded the answers. But these short videos were just the beginning. They were the warning signs. What you haven't seen is the full story, the origin, the first victims, the truth behind the entity known only as Mary, and the horrifying connection that links it all together. This is the case that was never meant to be solved, the story that was meant to stay hidden, until now.
Damn. This is the real story of Labubu. He wasn't born in a toy factory, he was sown from graves. A man's young daughter fell ill and died. He believed a soul could be saved, if given a new body to hold it. So he walked the graveyard at night, a grave digger with a terrible purpose. He collected small bones and locks of hair. In his workshop, he began to stitch, creating dolls from his stolen pieces. Stuffed with hay, sewn with desperate love, he stitched their smiles shut, a final seal, to keep the escaping soul inside. This was his nursery, not of horror, but hope. He dressed them in ribbons and tiny coats, and sat them in chairs for silent tea parties, speaking to them as if they were living. Authorities finally discovered his nursery. The dolls were seized, the records were burned. The story was meant to be erased, but decades later a toy appeared. A new doll with a familiar, stitched-shut smile, as if the belief itself had refused to die. Damn. Damn.
In this city, there's an alley that laughs. No one knows when it started. Only that every sound it copies comes back wrong. If it ever laughs in your voice, run.
What? Damn.
You think the Laughing Alley was bad? But what they found next was worse. Police footage shows no one in the alley, but the camera audio caught laughter. Not echoing, answering.
Damn.
We were told she was a monster. The truth was far more tragic. Her name was Mary, a seer. She could walk through any mirror. They feared her incredible power, so they performed a dark ritual. They shattered her connection to us, trapping her reflection forever inside. Now she is a lonely prisoner. When you chant her name now, you are not summoning her here. You are making yourself seen there. She is not trying to hurt you. She just wants to trade places. Every chant is another escape attempt. Do you feel someone watching you?
Damn.
I was called only when someone had already stopped breathing. In 1872, in Providence, there lived a photographer summoned not to weddings, but to the dying. Families kept his portraits as relics, infants in lace cradles, young women in wreaths of withered roses, men with hands folded on their chests. One day he photographed a 10-year-old girl. Her family stood nearby as he adjusted the lens until her face seemed serene on the glass plate. Her eyes were shut. In the print, they were open, fixed upon the camera. He tried to destroy the plate, but the glass would not break. Soon families came asking only for such photographs. Within months, his walls were covered, hundreds of gazes, identical, vacant, yet insistent. Neighbors swore they heard footsteps at night, whispers like children speaking through the walls. He locked himself in his studio. When the door was forced, the room was empty. Every mirror was shrouded, and on the floor lay a box of prints. In each, the eyes were no longer on the lens, but turned toward the doorway, watching whoever entered. Their gaze follows anyone who dares to hold them.
Damn.
This new headset will win any war. Your caution is nothing but pure treason. I will lead the final strike myself. He put the sleek black device on. A blinding white light filled his vision. Then he was back in his chair. Your caution is nothing but pure treason. The blinding light returned, and the sound. Back in the chair, his hands trembled. He tried to tear the headset off. It was fused to his skin now. Your caution is nothing but pure. The white light, again and again. We now see his tiny glass prison. Alien beings watch his endless suffering loop. This was not a weapon for war. It was a cage for a monster. His own resolve became his eternal hell. A silent scream was stuck in his throat. His own voice now a broken record. The prison was built from his arrogance. Gods observed their new, frantic insect specimen. He finally understood the cost of victory.
This girl had been dead 8 hours before this photo was taken. What? November 9th, 1988, Smallwood, Ohio. Mrs. Carter lined her 23 pupils against the brick wall for the annual Polaroid roll call. The picture popped out blank. 90 seconds later, the color surfaced. 23 bright faces and one more. Sarah Wynn, age 6, stood at the rope's tail, coat soaked dark, bare feet on the concrete. Mrs. Carter gasped. Sarah had vanished from the county fair the night before. Damn. The entire town was searching the riverbanks. She ran inside and phoned the sheriff. Deputies arrived at 9:05. They peeled the photo from its frame. Sarah's face was now a pale smear. What? The teacher's cassette recorder, left running during songs, played back an extra voice. At 10:17, divers pulled Sarah's body from the fairground pond. Time of death fixed at midnight, 11 hours before the lineup. The Polaroid, now under glass, keeps changing. Each year on November 9th, the smear sharpens for exactly 90 seconds, showing Sarah, eyes open, water dripping onto the concrete floor that no longer exists.
Damn. She was the only woman in Alcatraz. Her crime was pure, calculated evil. What? A strange plant shop in Old Tampa. The owner, a quiet woman named Summer. Her centerpiece was a 30-foot fly trap. Damn. People always asked how it grew so large. She would only grin and whisper, "Lots of protein." One night, a man booked a private tour. He never left the same. He woke up inside the plant. Its mouth was breathing around him. He escaped, screaming into the street. Police raided the shop that very night. In the basement held a collection of souvenirs. Damn. Watches, necklaces, shoes, all labeled. 25 victims, all fed to the plant. What? She confessed calmly, almost with pride. The town burned her shop to the ground. Damn. Summer was sentenced to life in Alcatraz. She built a glider from linen and bone, climbed the roof and flew into the night. What? Her body was never found, and no one knows what might still be hungry out there. Damn. In Alabama, 4 children followed a man in a rabbit suit. None came home. Halloween night looked ordinary. Pumpkins burned on porches. Candy waited in bowls. What? Untouched by morning. Parents watched from windows, thinking their kids were safe. Damn. One street away. Then it happens. He appeared. What? A filthy rabbit suit. Ears torn, chest stained dark. He spoke once. Better candy. A bigger house. Damn. One by one, the children stepped off the street. Buckets dropped, plastic cracking. In the quiet, candy spilled like teeth across the concrete. By dawn, rows of small footprints led to the trees. What? Police searched with dogs, helicopters, floodlights, but no bones, no clothes, not even a ribbon or a shoelace. That neighborhood never celebrated Halloween again. And to this day, they say, if you walk down those empty streets at night, you'll hear the children laughing in the woods. And you'll see a white figure at the tree line. And if you stop long enough, he'll notice you.
What?
Damn.
These cases are closed, but the archive is full. Subscribe and help me open the next file.